What is going on there, citizens of the Reject Nation? Greg here today. Well, John, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. We're getting ready to shoot She-Hulk in a little bit. That video should be up already by the time this video comes out. But we haven't done a movie news story in a while. And then I came across this one. It really piqued my interest, and I wanted to talk about it because I just thought this was so weird and strange. So in case you guys did not hear about this, there was a Black Adam TV spot that came out called Legacy, I believe. And in that trailer, basically, they were showing footage of, Justice League members, the Batarang, Superman without his face. Basically saying, like, before these characters, the real legacy character, the one before them all, was Black Adam. That was the whole point of the trailer. But what happened with the original upload, the original trailer they released, there was like a second, like a very small portion. Honestly, for me, even when I saw this legacy spot, it kind of flew over my head. I didn't really read much into it, but it was apparently a moment involving Steppenwolf that was from the Josstice League version of the Justice League, right? And so Snyder fans got really upset.
You don't say.
They got really pissed off. And now as people who would love to see Restore the Snyderverse actually take place, we've talked about it many times. There's a part of me that finds this story just like hilarious. It's silly. It's really silly what happened. Basically, there was a huge backlash, and a big part of the backlash that comes with it is because of the debate of which Justice League movie is the one that is considered canon now. Is it the Justice League one, or is it Zack Snyder's Justice League? And obviously, one side of that argument has exceptionally more passion behind it, but that fragment in this spot, that little fragment, led to such a backlash that I then saw Dwayne Johnson tweet out, "Corrected!" So they removed that spot, replaced it with some other piece of battle footage as to not anger the Snyder fans anymore. And of course, it has led to many a discussion now of, okay, wait a minute, does removing that mean that the Dwayne Johnson is indeed fighting for keeping Zack Snyder's Justice League actually canon? He said corrected, so if he's saying corrected, that must mean the correct version would be Zack Snyder's Justice League is the one. And I consider that one canon personally. And I've heard rumors, maybe this is actually confirmed, I've heard rumors, Andy Muschietti considers Zack Snyder's Justice League the one that's considered canon for the Flash movie. I just think it's so funny the amount of fan outrage and how much control they can have in panicking Warner Brothers. And maybe Dwayne Johnson, I bet, stepped in himself. It was like, we got to change this guy.
We got to take this
can't
entirely
piss
out
these
of
people
here.
off, man.
Well, and that too, and to replace it with Black Adam footage and not any Justice League footage whatsoever. So to me, I'm like, is this corrected in terms of we've decided upon the Zack Snyder universe, or is this corrected in terms of we are not having this conversation right now?
Yeah, because I'm under the impression that like they had footage of Justice League members, but I don't think the movie itself is going to use any of that footage. I believe that was solely for marketing purposes. And there's obviously ways you can be vague enough about Justice League experiences, if acknowledged in this film, where it could be either or. You say Steppenwolf, and that could be either one of those movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't really matter. A lot of people are I think, are reading into this. I just think it's kind of crazy and a little bit ridiculous. Obviously, there are people who are on one side of the camp who are like, no, it's not ridiculous. Dwayne Johnson had it corrected.
But we don't. It was his duty to us, the fans.
Yeah.
He owes this to us.
You're destroying us. I don't know. I'm under the impression that Warner Brothers is fighting headstrong. I mean, I know they're under new leadership now to distance themselves as much from the Snyderverse fans as possible. Because there's always stories coming out for the longest time now that no, they want to actually make it canon. They want to actually bring it back in some way, and Dwayne Johnson's the one who's fighting for it. But Zack Snyder has said he's never actually had any talks with anyone that implies that that is indeed what they want to do, nor has he actually even really talked with Dwayne Johnson about it. I think it's something that people are just kind of reading too much into, but I do find it insane and a little bit outlandish that it's gotten to this point.
Well, yeah, because all this ad is trying to do is to probably take the people who don't know Black Adam as well and go, he's in the same universe as these people. And like now you have this whole distracting debate about something that WB, seems like they would rather not have to talk about at all. And it seems like moving forward into Black Adam, if they did boldly acknowledge the Snyder Cut as the canon, I think that would be super cool. But I very much expect them to vaguely acknowledge any Justice League oriented details so as not to make a direct choice with that movie and then eclipse the movie's impact by making it again about the Snyderverse, you know?
Yeah, because they're not trying to erase the past, and maybe the Flash will try to attempt it in some way, because I don't get the impression they're erasing the past. Like, even the Shazam trailer featured footage from Justice League as well. So it's something that obviously they're not going to try to erase Justice League history. And even Ezra Miller themselves had to come out and be like, no, you can't erase it. you just can't. But should we really allow this much power?
Hey man, they color corrected the other Black Adam trailer all for the fans. They took out the Justice League all for the fans. Dwayne Johnson's your direct man.
Because that's the other side of this argument that I hear talked about a lot, is about how much Dwayne Johnson respects fans and listens to the fans so much to the point that he will go in and want to make these kinds of changes to appease fans. That he's that connected. But I can't help but have this skepticism of this kind of response. This kind of quick reaction to things. Can that be damaging in the long run, especially when Warner Brothers is apparently setting out to establish a type of plan? When they're talking about creating a plan, wanting to mirror Feige again, that conversation being brought up again, what happens when there's a backlash? Are they going to react to that again?
Are they just going to always be on the line to like, oh, people don't like this, change it now?
Because I read nothing into the meaning of the marketing behind it, because it was just an TV spot ad, again, acknowledging legacy and to promote Black Adam specifically, not really about Black Adam with the Justice League. I mean, yeah, you do see the Ben Affleck Batarang and the bat symbol. You do see the Henry Cavill suit. So one can read that much into it. But at the same time, like, I don't think you really need to read that much into it. I don't think you need to get that upset over it to the point where we needed to make a change here.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
like,
just to go, hey, it's going to fit in the same DVD box set as all this other stuff. That's all that was meant to do.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought this piece of news was a little bit hilarious. I'm not like pissed off about it or anything like that. It's just funny to me that this is again an example of, you know, Warner Brothers, a company, being so reactionary. And if this is happening right now, I'm like, well, you're talking about sticking to a plan and wanting to create one. I'm like, what happens when people get upset?
Dwayne Johnson and the fans are the Kevin Feige now.
Because the purpose of what's happening right now is the Snyder fans, the ones who will never be able to let go of the Snyderverse not ever being restored, they're always going to complain. They're always going to be upset.
Anytime they see or hear a piece of Justice League mentioned, even in passing, they will be set off.
And so with this new plan, if it involves no Snyderverse, people will be upset regardless. And are you going to change your plan according to that? Well, that's not really Kevin Feige of you, if that's the plan you're trying to do.
It's Kevin Feige of you to pay attention, and then we'll apply this on the next go-around. Yeah. Like, not immediately as we're in the middle of a current plan.
Like, this just screamed directionless again to me in a very humorous way. So
get it together, Zaslav.
I don't know. I imagine it was Dwayne Johnson himself who had to go in there and be like, we have to remove this because this isn't right. But hey, if it actually is something that deals more with Dwayne Johnson wanting that removed because he does believe that we should bring back the Snyderverse, then all right. Cool. This is an important chapter in marketing history, apparently.
A momentous day.
But what do you all think? Did you think this was a necessary change? Do you think it's just getting out of hand? Leave your thoughts down below. Do you think it's been out of hand for a while? Probably do. Leave your thoughts down below. Subscribe, click that bell, and hey, we'll catch you all soon.